What we're trying to achieve with specially made hook baits is to get the carp to take them first. So you put your free offerings in, attract the carp into the swim, they're browsing over the top of the baits. One stands out, it doesn't scare them, it attracts them, they pick up that one and you get a bite straight away. And that seems to be happening here at the moment. I'm getting lots of bites, I'm putting oil on my baits that I'm actually feeding, which means normally a slick comes up on the surface when the fish are actually eating the bait. But I'm getting bites before there's any slick at all, so I'm guessing this is one of the first baits to be taken. And that's the fella that's doing the business at the moment on here. That's a mixture of banana and pear and milky toffee flavours. And we're going to look now at how to make your own hook baits and some of the real winning combinations. So these are the ones that I made before I came out here. They smell absolutely gorgeous. That mix of banana and pear and toffee, you know, banoffee pie, is absolutely devastating. I've caught on that everywhere I've taken it. So it's very, very simple to do. I make all my own hook baits on the bank, keep the stuff in the back of the van all the time. You don't need to buy lots of ingredients and lots of utensils, bit of base mix, bit of pop-up mix, some flavours and an egg, and that's about it. So first of all, you just crack an egg into a mixing bowl, whisk that up, and then your flavours go in. And in this particular one, I've got 2.5 ml of the cell activator, which is the liquid that goes into the normal cell boilies. Then I've got 2.5 ml of pear and banana flavour, 5 ml of milky toffee flavour, and then 1 ml of sweet aid. And what that does is rounds the flavours off. They're very, very concentrated on their own, they're very bitter. So a ml of the sweet aid just gives them a nice round taste so the fish don't eject the bait as soon as they taste it. And then onto that, I just put a little bit of white colour in. What I'm trying to do is make them look washed out. So that's one of our cell boilies that we're feeding. And you can see there, if I compare that to the ones I've got on the hook, it looks washed out. It looks like it's been in the water 12 hours. So we're giving it the effect that it looks old, but it smells more attractive than the rest of it, so hopefully they're going to take it. And white's a really good colour anyway. Get loads of bites on white anywhere I go, whether it's clear water or murky. A little tiny bit of white to give them that sort of creamy colour is absolutely perfect. So you mix all of that up, really mix it thoroughly. The eggs won't really go white to start off with, but as you start to put the base mix in, then they'll start to go white, and then you'll end up with that consistency. And the blend of base mixes is really important. So one of the ingredients is that fella, the Polaris pop-up mix. Normally you'd mix that with eggs and flavour and create a pop-up. But what I'm doing is blending that with a bottom bait mix to create a slow sinker. So it only just pops up to the surface, and with a hook on it, the hook will lay flat on the bottom and the bait will just be hovering above it. So I've worked on this quite a bit, and I found that 2 parts of this to 1 1/4 parts of bottom bait mix gives you a nice slow sinker. So basically mix that together in a bag and then put a load of air in the bag and then shake it up so it's thoroughly mixed. If you don't mix it thoroughly, then you'll get some of them that will float really quickly and some that won't float at all. So to get it nice and consistent, give it a proper shake up and add that to your eggs and your flavour that you've already whisked up, a little bit at a time. So make it like a sloppy soup to start off with. You'll see the white colour start to go through it. Add more and more and just keep whisking it with a fork until it goes really sticky. Add more powder, and then I swap to a spoon so I can really push it into the bowl and really mix it through thoroughly. And when it won't stick to the spoon anymore, then I add a little bit more base mix and then just start kneading it with my hands to get to a nice soft dough. So it's not really tacky, but it's not crumbly, it's not breaking up. It's just like a nice soft mix. And then it's very important, if you're doing your baits outside, put it in a plastic bag and then just do the plastic bag up at the top, and that stops it drying out. This stuff can dry out very quickly in the open air, and sometimes I'll even add more water to it and then knead it back through it again just to soften it up so it rolls really well. And then obviously I'm just rolling the baits, pinching a bit off, and I find if you just wet your fingertips and pinch a little bit of mix off and then roll it, it rolls just that little bit better. And I've rolled 2 different types of bait with that one mix. So one is just a slow sinker, and the other one I've moulded around a cork ball, so there's a very thin skin around the cork ball, rolled that again, and that gives me a really buoyant pop-up, so I can use a chod rig or any sort of pop-up rig with that as well. It's absolutely perfect for both. I boil them for about 2 minutes, take them out, dry them out, and leave them in the open air and dry them out as much as you can. And I'll keep drying them probably for a week, and then just add in little tiny drips of flavour back onto them, because when you're boiling them, you're boiling some of the flavour away. So a few drips on the outside, it soaks into the bait, a few drips a few days later, and it just keeps soaking in, and then you're getting bursts of flavour. So that's how to make them. Let's have a look at a couple of the others. They look like classic bonbons, but I assure you they don't taste like them. That's got squid and some fruits in it as well, plus a little bit of peachade, which is like sweet aid with a peach flavour in it as well. A little bit of white colouring and a little bit of red gives you that lovely pink sort of washed out colour. That's an absolutely brilliant colour as well. I've found on Gigantica the banoffee ones are doing more bites than the pink ones, so I've got all rods on banoffee now, and that's another thing worth doing. Spread them out on your different rods, see which one gets the bites, and then swap all rods to that. And then these other washed out ones as well that I've got here, again, just a tiny little bit of white colouring in there, and that's got 4 different fruits in it. Got a little tiny bit of grape, tangerine, orange and pineapple, and really it's limited by your own imagination. Put whatever you want in them, and as long as you keep to probably 5 to 10 mil per egg, it really doesn't matter what the combination is. Put tuna with a fruit and see how it works. It might be brilliant. And the more different flavours you've got bits coming out that way from the bait, you've got bits going straight up, because all the flavours will be on different bases, so each one's doing a different thing and giving you more chances to get a bite. And then the last slow sinker, this is for later in the week on Gigantica. This is when they've eaten loads and loads of boilies. This is basically the cell-based mix that you just buy out the freezer in a normal tackle shop. Comes in a little tub. And what I've done is kneaded cork dust into there. Just kneaded it in more and more and more. Kept rolling them, dropping them in the water, and they must just float. And then you know you've got a slow sinker. So I've got exactly the same base mix as I'm feeding, but I've got it as a slow sinking bait. So all you're doing is taking away the weight of the hook. So the hook's laying flat on the bottom, the bait's sitting above it, so when the fish sucks it in, it goes in that little bit faster and hopefully nails them. So that is hook baits, well worth the extra effort.